question is for all the airline executives, but specifically, I'd like to start with Mr. Corrado of Sunwing Airlines. Mr. Corrado, how many complaints were filed as a result of this last travel season, holiday season?
We're still receiving complaints. I don't have a number to give you, but I'd be happy to provide one after the hearing today.
Okay, and could you tell? Hello?
I was going to interject for Mr. Corrado that I can tell you the current number is 7,000 that we've received. 7,000.
Yes. And would you be able to tell me whether those are largely compensation related?
They are a mix of many factors: compensation, extra expenses incurred, refunds where passengers chose to travel home at their own expense where they were able. So they are a real mix.
And would you say that this situation, the flight disruption situation, has been resolved now? The one that occurred over the holiday season?
That situation was fully resolved by the airline shortly after Christmas, yes.
Shortly after Christmas. And you testified that you heard from Mr. Al-Gabra around December 27. Is that correct?
I'll have to hand back over to, Dr. Lewis, I'll have to hand back over to Mr. Corrado because that's an airline conversation.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So we had outreach to the minister's office from the 28th onwards, and we had a meeting with him last week to review the overall operation. And as I previously stated, we began reporting to CTA as at the 26th as to the status of our operation, and to the Transport Canada Policy Department getting updates at the same time.
Now, I understand that the matter was resolved shortly after Christmas. So you met with him really around the time that the matter was resolved. That was the first conversation you had with him, correct?
I believe the first conversation was January 5th.
The first conversation was January 5th.
Directly with the minister was January 5th, yes.
With January 5th. And that was after the situation, you'd already resolved the situation on your own, correct?
Yeah, our operation had stabilized and we had recovered from the various events in play.
Okay. And so you had the conversation with him, but did you ever have a physical meeting with him about this grave situation that Canadians face?
We had a meeting with the minister on the 5th virtual meeting, and he expressed his concerns about the situation and our performance. And we discussed, as I presented today, the various challenges that we faced.
And did he provide any solutions to you about how you were going to deal with these 7,000 complaints? I'm certain that he asked about the number of Canadians that were affected by this very terrible situation.
I don't have the notes in front of me from the meeting, so I'm not going to get to the specifics of that. But the minister did suggest, if there's any way that the government could help to move things along to avoid this, he did offer support.
Okay, and so you have to get back to the minister about how the government should help. The minister did not propose any solutions to you about how the government could help?
Not at that time.
Okay, and did the minister contact your organization prior to this holiday season? Because this is a unique travel season. We've dealt with 2 years of travel disruption due to COVID, and Canadians were in high anticipation of traveling. So did the minister reach out to you prior to the holiday season to ensure or to inquire about anything that you needed to make sure that this would be a smooth travel season and anticipate some of the barriers and blocks that could have happened? Did you have that contact from the minister?
Various parts of my leadership team are in contact with various parts of Transport Canada and other government agencies. And so I can't speak at this point to whether those engagements happened, although I'm sure that they did to some level. I personally didn't speak to the minister, but I'm sure that many of the government departments were discussing this with my leadership team.